welcome back everyone. I'm Shinigami Tabris, and we're going to be doing some painting. This is a different setup than what you're normally used to seeing for me. Normally you're seeing me do games or D&D, and if you're watching me doing D&D, then you sort of see part of this, but not all of it, as this is the only thing, this is normally this camera here that you're going to be able to see the miniature on, as I'm working on the mini. This is my DM camera normally, so this is the one that's normally on my face, and this is normally on some of my players, which as you can see I've got like the table construed with a lot of paint stuff, and hopefully I don't need all of it. I think I've already like prepped a lot of what I need closer to me, so I don't have to go over to the other side of the table. But we're just going to be chilling, goofing off. I'm going to be chatting with everybody as I'm doing this, and see how it goes. Without further ado, let me go ahead and take this off because it's gonna annoy me being on the screen all the time, and I don't want to also accidentally get paint on it. We're gonna throw up some music. I do have a reference photo of what my player wants. The music I'm gonna be listening to, if you can hear it, is something just off of YouTube. It's supposedly music that's safe for background streaming. But yeah, I do have a reference photo, like I said, so let's bring up the references. These will occasionally rotate throughout, and this is basically my player made his character on Hero Forge, and then we download the STL file from Hero Forge, and I print it, and then I paint it for them if they want the painting done. So that's what we're doing with that. So, I don't know if I can get... There we go. The print did not come out as well as I'd like it to. I definitely want to get a resin printer eventually to make these better. But, until then, we'll get what we can. So I'm going to start off with a white base coat, because a lot of this character is white. And when I say a lot, I mean there is like 90% of his... clothing is white and green with blue trim. So I'm going to start with white and then add more colors as need be. Let's see, this one's not going to be. This one is. So, for those that are curious, all I use is acrylic paint. Most of it is local hobby store or Walmart brand. It works perfectly fine. My brushes range from like a bunch of different stuff. Some more expensive, some are just cheap. It's whatever I can get a hold of that has the right size that I need. Others are old. I have no idea where they came from. Me and my mother have been painting and doing stuff like this for years. So it's just one of those fun things that I do in my spare time. I'm by no means the best painter ever. I'm going to put that out there now. I do enjoy doing it. I wouldn't mind doing more of it throughout the time. But to start with, hey, let's see. Oh, the foot is not in place. I glued, so his foot came off of the base. I might have to, come back to him in a second. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get this white coat on. And then once I get this white coat on, I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to also go stand up and grab my gonna grab the glue and re-glue him back down. And we'll go to a different miniature. And the only reason I'm going to a different miniature, like I said, his foot is coming up. Hard to, I don't know if I'll be able to show it. But like it's causing him, when I like touch him, it's causing him to like move a lot more than he should, which makes it hard to get fine details and stuff like that. It also makes it hard to like coat him properly, as he will move as I'm trying to get areas. Like I said, this is just a base coat. Anything that I don't get doesn't necessarily have to be white. It'll just make some of this take better. It'll also make some of it like pop later, hopefully, having a white background. I don't know if I should put this under just chatting or under art. Because it's sort of an art thing, but it's not. I don't know. I think I'm going to move it over to art. But while this is, like I said, I'm going to let this dry real quick. What we're going to do, I'm going to take the reference photo off. I'm going to let him dry. I'm also going to grab my glue, and I'm going to fix him real quick. So, like, yeah. Was not anticipating having to glue something together. Just so you know, the reason I'm doing that walk around, I could walk right over here and get to where I was trying to go. The problem with going this direction is I have a ton of cables for the cameras and some other stuff that are right there. Okay, let's put your foot down. And let's hope that with the paint and the glue, he okay, so I'm just gonna do this guy real quick then. This guy's gonna be super fast to do. He's just like a ninja type character. A lot of black. I'm gonna do some red highlights on him, along with some silver for the chains. He has these sights that are hard to see built into the side. So I've got a couple of things that I'm gonna touch up on, but it's gonna be a lot of black and red. So starting off with a lot of black. You know how this goes. This is just, like I said, this is just me goofing off and having fun. Letting you guys join in while I'm doing this versus me just sitting here for an hour and a half by myself. So again, I'm going to color most of him in black to start with. That way when I add color, like actual color to him afterwards, having the black already there gives depth and highlights Of course, I normally I go back and do depending on the, so like on my player's miniature, I'm not going to go back and do it on his miniature because he has a very bright colored character. Everything's super bright. But like darker characters like this, I typically go back and do a dark wash on top of it, of like a black wash or a brown wash to get those crevices again and to just make it pop more and look more realistic on that super bright character because he wants it to also be that bright looking. We're not going to go back and do that type of brown or black wash because it would mute a lot of the white that he wants his character to have. Um, if you're curious of how what I've done, basically these are just old prescription bottles where my family has had their prescription filled, and then all I do is I take sticky tack and cover it a little bit with the sticky tack, and then the miniatures just adhere directly to the sticky tack. And normally, I'm having trouble with this guy. He's got a lot of there. He's got a lot of stuff underneath him that makes him a little harder to pull the sticky tack off. But like all the others that have like a base, like this is a miniature I'm going to be painting later. They have a base on them. All I have to do is grab the base and sort of twist, and it comes off. And like you see, there's not much residue. So what I do is I just leave them on here for a while and let them dry. That way I'm also, like, normally I'm not touching them after I've painted them, so I'm not smudging anything or anything like that. But like I said, this is starting off with just a primer for him. So I don't mind smudging this while I get this sticky tack off, just so that I can get the bottom of him. I'm going to let him sit not on the base for a little bit and let him dry off. And this stuff doesn't take long to dry. So like typically what I'd be doing, I actually typically do like 2 miniatures at the same time. And I'd already go back to this guy and start working on him some more, now that I'm letting the other one dry. But I have to wait for this guy's foot to finish glue drying, and the glue takes longer to dry than the paint does. So with that in mind, we're going to go to this character, and that's when I have I didn't actually have any plans on what to do here, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. They're supposed to be like a thief assassin-ish type character. So we're going to definitely go with some darker colors. I'm thinking some blues. Maybe like a dark burgundy red. Brown boots. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's go with like. Let's see. Let's go with like this. Let's see if this one. Let's get the round done first. I'm just trying to. I'm going through my head of where to start with this character. That shows how old this brush is. Is it just fell apart here? See if I can get it to here. It's a lot lighter brown than I anticipated it to be. Although I might like it as the okay. Let's put this under art. Do I have my keyboard? I do not. Never mind. I was going to put it under art, but I don't have my keyboard next to me to change that. So we'll just keep it as it is. Okay, give me this one again. Okay. Bum, bum, ba-dum. I regret taking him off of his sticky tag. There. Oh. So one of the things I'm thinking on this gentleman, so I'm doing the red, like a red bakla, and then under the top of the hood, I've got some red around the outside, and then we've got that red ribbon coming down. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is the inside might be red as well, but I'm not 100% on that yet. Because he definitely is supposed to be like a very dark figure, so like having just some red pops uh, would be the best. I'm gonna do his boots in brown. He's got some other little things that'll be brown and silver and whatnot. He, like I said, he's supposed to be a really dark figure, so let's go for a dark brown. Brown I used earlier was too bright. It's almost like muddish brown. I don't know if you're able to see that, where it's like a muddy brown instead of a dark brown. And it didn't cover the silver very well. So we're going to go with a darker brown here. I don't need much. He is not wanting to stay on the stand that I have him on, so I'm going to have to hold him, which I don't like. Because that means I have to like be super balanced on both my right and left hand now to get some of these delicate areas. I don't have the best nerves to begin with, so that's part of the reason my miniature painting is It's good. It's just not the best, and that's partially because I do have trimmers. They're hard to see, but I notice them, and especially when I start getting into high detailed areas, I definitely notice my trimmers then. Um, so this is one of those fun things for me. It's going to be really hard for me to show this on camera, but it's starting to show up anyways on camera. Like all it takes is a little bit of like that. I went from all that black to just a little bit of red and browns, and the browns and everything are just popping so much more because of there being so much black. Now the browns are gonna, because I went with darker browns, like on his boot, which is hard to see underneath that red. But then there's the browns on their sickles. Right here where my nail's at, there's a little bit of brown there for the handle of the sickle. Once I get the silver again on those, it'll probably make that brown pop some more. And I might lighten it up. But the red definitely pops. I don't want to lighten up his boots because his boots are still supposed to be, they're supposed to be dark. So we'll leave his boots this really dark brown. We might lighten up the handles though. Okay, while we let him sit for a second, we're gonna check. Okay, that's a lot better. So I pushed on it a little bit to see if the miniature would give, like it was earlier. It does not. So what we're gonna do now, let's bring up our reference photo. See, he's got a lot of vibrant green there, and again, I don't see vibrant green being a So all I'm doing right now is I'm just retouching that white up, making sure that areas are coated properly that I think are going to need it. And part of what I'm, like I said, to try to get this vibrant green and this vibrant blues that he's wanting, I had to put like a white. Like this is gonna be this is gonna be a hard one in my opinion, only because like trying to get these vibrant colors. Um, oh, come on. There we go. Okay. I've got a good base coat on him. Still, he's very twitchy. Hard to keep him where I want him to be. So we've got some dark browns there. And then we've got almost like we got some dark browns, greens, that bright blues. There's red highlights to his hair, and bright greens. Like I said, starting off with this all white, it's going to be hard for me to get some of these tiny spots, but we'll be working on it. And it is, I'm like I said, just trying to get him to pop like that. I would love to see this is what's going up on the screen there. The reference photos are, in my opinion, the plastic. I don't think they paint these. I think, and if they do paint them, I don't know if they could paint it that way. This is a digital image, and like it really pops. And I don't think it's gonna pop that way. If they printed it. But I'm not 100% sure, and it makes me want to see what their paint job would be like, just for that instance of like what are you putting out there? Because if they can get that bright vibrantness that they're showing in that image, I am just surprised. Unless it's computer painted as well. That's still questionable. So the more I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about making this girl. She will focus. Focus. Her. Can you, hold on. Do I have autofocus off? I think I do. I mean, it attempts to focus on her, and then it, like, stays where it's at. I think I have autofocus off. Let's see. DM cam properties. Configure. Oh no, I've got it on. Then why is it not focusing on her? So much out here. Hold on. So anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about making these two a pair. One's the master and the other one's the apprentice type thing. So I think it's going to be similar color tones. I'm going to give her a little bit more bluish than what this guy's going to get. This guy's going to get a lot. He's going to stay as black as possible, like all that dark coloring on purpose. But I'm going to give her the same, like, red highlights, similar red highlights with a little bit of blue on her as well. So with that thought process, I'm wanting, like I said, I'm thinking, where's that one? Let's, like I said, I originally was thinking about him having the red on the inside of the cape. Well, with her being the apprentice and being like less, and she might even be more like a scout. So these are the fun things while you're painting your miniatures. If you haven't created the NPCs yet, you're running through your head. What would this miniature slash NPC be doing? What are you anticipating from them? Actually, what I'm starting to think instead of giving her a black cape, I'm thinking about doing still using this red that's popping behind her, and then doing like a navy blue, like a dark navy back here. And doing the same on her, like, skirt. I got some ideas now. And I know those that are watching that, like, they know I'm supposed to be painting this character. I'm fully going to be on that in just a minute. I'm trying to, while my brain is working overtime on this character, I'm trying to come up with, like, this is going to be a pain in my opinion. I love I just don't do a lot of, since I do a lot of, all of my stuff is super medieval, older fantasy looks. I do a lot of dark and grimy stuff. I don't do a lot of light stuff. So this character being as bright as he is, it's making me feel daunted about it, and I'm sort of procrastinating. Oh, that blue is a lot brighter than I anticipated it to be. We might dark. Well, when I dark wash it later, it'll bring it back down. Okay, I need a super thin one. So originally I was going to do her skirt in this dark navy, but like with it being that poppy, I'm curious, thinking more now, maybe doing like a green to offset the colors of that. And speaking of green, that's what I'm going to do next. Is I'm going to go for like a bright greenish color. Whether I don't know whether to go with like a mountain forest or marsh. I think mountain forest is going to be what I'm aiming for more. Oh, come on. That's what I get for not taking the label, opening the bottle first. We're just aiming for the green on the hat right now. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I might have to end this stream uh, because, like, my nerves are just so. And it's not that I'm nervous. Like, I've learned over my years of doing these because I've done a bunch of different miniatures for friends and for myself. That, like, you mess up on paint, you can go back over it and fix it. Like, I do it a lot. Um, and your friends don't anticipate you to be perfect. That's the other thing about it. Um, but the problem I'm having right now is not me worried about paint. It's like I'm having trouble just getting these small cracks like I'm wanting to. Okay, so that's. I'm getting that foot's come off. That is irritating me. Okay. Let's give the hands a break a second. We got a bunch of green on there now. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. See that? It really popped earlier. That blue was a super vibrant blue earlier. Now it's not as bright. Um, okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that now. I want to use this green as well on his miniature. To get some of these, there's some highlights in here, like a brighter green. And I'm thinking that will do it. And then I'm going to use some of the. I got this like dark forest green, but like the dark colors. I need a gray. I gotta get those blues in there and the reds. Um, okay, let me get my flesh tone out. And I'm doing, for him, I know for a fact his character is like super pale. So I'm using a It's called elder flesh. It's supposed to be like a I don't know how to word it. Like almost an undead flesh.